Tonight, I am again calling for the immediate resignation of Councilman John Wise and Ellen West. Never in the 50 years that I have been around city councilmen have I ever seen such a promotion of violence. I have reviewed some of the film footage of city council meetings. Mr. Wise, you made the following statements. I don't care whose toes I step on. I don't care whose neck I step on. Mr. Wise, you suggested that a city employee hunt down a certain councilman, rip his arm off, and hit him over the head with it. Mr. Wise, did you not in executive session shake your fist to the face of a city councilman and then threaten to rip his throat off? Mr. Wise, never has anyone in the whole United States ever heard such violent language as ripping off arms and ripping out throats by a city councilman. Mr. West, you attempted to beat up a man at a city council meeting and abused him with foul language. Violence by today's youth is a great problem in our society. How in heaven's name can you expect to be a decent example for the youth of El Segundo when you promote such extreme violence? Why should two of the most violent people in El Segundo be seated on the city council? Both of you are an insult to the decent people of El Segundo. Every minute that you are seated as councilman, you insult the cause of honorable local government. In my opinion, you both should resign immediately. John Wise and Ellen West, in my opinion, you aren't fit to even hold the public office of dog catcher. You both would kick the dogs.
Candidate Dickton, what would be the advantage of El Segundo becoming a charter city?
Aren't we a charter city already?
I only read the questions.
Well, I think we are, so I'm glad to be an El Segundo.
Candidate Dickton, from the last candidates forum, it is obvious that you are not knowledgeable enough on the important city issues to serve as councilman. Why don't you drop out now?
That's kind of un-American to me. I'm staying in.
Candidate Weston, if elected, do you intend to serve out a full term, or is this just another stepping stone in your political career?
Well, I'm flattered because whoever asked the question apparently thinks I'm the most qualified candidate for the job. No, I think it indicates unfortunately, and what you're seeing here tonight indicates a problem that we do have on the council and a problem we have in this city. I'd like to be able to raise my children here. My youngest son won't graduate from high school until the year 2010, and it's a long time between now and then, and a lot of things can happen in this community. So my concern really is what is going to be the future of El Segundo? What is it going to look like? JB sold his house. He's on his way out of town. And some of us who enjoyed our childhood and really love the community of El Segundo would like to preserve that for our children as well.
With the city in a tight financial position, why did you vote to pay the ex-city manager an unwarranted $100,000?
Yes, that was an interesting operation. The ex-city manager had engaged a lawyer. There was a legal battle between the city and him. He felt that he was being unfairly treated. There was a settlement of that agreement. It was a perfectly proper and normal settlement. It had nothing to do with the value of the house. It was a lawsuit settlement.
You know, I've been warned not to let Van Drie push my button. Well, he pushed it. You know, you can attack me all you want. And I'll tell you the same thing I told Mike Robbins. Don't attack my family, Gerhardt. You don't know what you're talking about. I think something needs to go deeper than this, folks. I think you have to feel sorry for Gerhardt. I think you see a very bitter person sending out hate. But I think, look at the people that have manipulated this man. If you listen to his message, you're listening and you're looking into the soul of the beast. That's what candidates are being sponsored by. That's wants to run El Segundo. No plan for El Segundo. Personal attacks. I have been quiet. I will not stand for my family to be attacked by any walking person in this world. I don't care about being a councilman if it means that I have to compromise my family. My opponent, Mr. Weston, is the same age as my children, about 29 years old. And he says he's a native, and I take him at his word. None of my kids know you. They are natives too. They are all born here. In fact, the three most used words after Liam Weston's name is, who is he? And I think that in a few years, Mr. Weston, I think what you learn El Segundo and where Jerry's shoes are and things like that, I think you'd be qualified to run for city council. I don't think being in the state government means anything to me. I think if you look at the state government, you'll see that California is $6 billion in debt. And I think if you look at the federal government, they're no better off.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I want to say thank you to the Ezra organization for having a candidates night. It's been a wonderful experience. And I always like to refer back to Winston Churchill's old saying when he was attacked over and over again on all kinds of peripheral and personal issues. He used to say, well, the reason he doesn't want to respond is if you wrestle in the mud with a pig, you both get dirty and he enjoys it. But I would like to say, at the same time, Councilman Wise, since you brought it up, that if I were on the council, if I'm your children's age, and I acted the way you did and created as many lawsuits, more than any councilman or these two incumbents have since 1917 against the city for simple misbehavior on the dais, maybe I'd have my age as an excuse, but I don't know what your excuse is.